Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Hadashir from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another lesson. And what I wanted to get into with this lesson, as you can see the title, it says, every brother is going through his own personal Job experience. And this lesson was inspired off of a meeting that we had a couple of weeks ago. All right. And one of the topics that we had at the meeting was basically brothers were going into how every single brother is going through their own personal Job experience that is trying their faith, man. So you might look at a brother and you might in your mind think like, man, this brother, you know, you might think in your mind that this brother's not going through anything, but whatever you see on the surface level is not really, that brother's everyday life, man. All right. Because you might look at a brother, they're on fire at the line, they go to class, you see them throughout the week, and brothers be on fire, man. All right. And that's what you see on the surface. That's what you see on the outside, man. On the outside looking in. But some of the things, that brothers tell you that they're going through, and some of the trials that brothers tell you about that they've gone through or that they are currently going through, you're like, God damn, bro, that's what you're going through? Like, damn, man. Like, some of the things that brothers go through, man, is not easy. Brothers are getting tested, man. And if you know anything about the book of Job, because there could be new brothers and sisters that are watching. All right, Job was being afflicted, man. All right, Job allowed Satan, or the Lord allowed Satan to test or put Job through the ringer, man. All right, Job, his substance was taken away, his family was taken away, his woman came against him, his friends that were supposed to comfort him, all right, you know they were not comforting Job. All right, even Job's health, his health was brought low, man. He had boils on his skin, man. All right, he was unrecognizable, man. You got to think about it. Job was going through all this whole situation, man, and not once did he give up his integrity. All right, so every brother in this truth, you got to think about it. Every brother's going through their own tailor-made trial that is testing them, man. They're all going through their own personal Job experience. All right. So the first scripture I want to start off with is 1 Peter 4:12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you." So ultimately, it says, "Think it not strange concerning the fiery trials." Let's go into that word for fiery trial so you understand. All right. You got to get into these words, man, just like how the apostles taught us. Because these words, you get into these words, man, it gives you a whole new angle, the true understanding of what the scripture is really saying right here, man. So when you go into that 1 Peter 4:12, the word for fiery trial is G4451. It's the Greek word pyrosis, and it says calamities or trials that test the character. All right, so that fiery trial, ultimately, they're things or situations, calamities, trials that are testing your character, man. All right, so let's read it again. 1 Peter 4:12. "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. So you're not, look, this what we're going through, it's not gonna be easy, bro. We're gonna just, and that's something that brothers at Great Millstone always tell you, especially the apostles, man. Apostle Gabar always goes into it. This truth is about suffering, man. You think you're gonna come in here, just walk into the kingdom, everything is gonna be easy? No, bro. This is a fiery trial, which is to try you. These are calamities, trials that are gonna test your character. Just like how when Job went through what he went through, all right? Well, hey, the scriptures tell us to think about Job, man. It tells us right here in the book of James, real quick, just real quick. It says right here in the book of James 5 and starting at verse 10, it says, James 5 and 10, take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. So James is telling us what? Take the prophets as an example. When you read about the prophets and what they were going through, man, Jeremiah, Isaiah, the main example, Yahushai. Yahushai was healing people and niggas wanted to stone him, man. Yahushai was healing the blind, healing the maimed. People were walking again. Miracles, man. And look at what they did to Yahushai, man. The author and finisher of our faith. Look at that, man. So you really think that us now following after Yahushai, you think you're just gonna go through nothing, bro? Hell nah, you're gonna go through these trials, man, to see if you're really still gonna follow after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Why do you think Paul spoke about endure hardness as a good soldier? Why do you think he spoke about keeping your body under subjection? Why do you think he spoke about all these different analogies, man? Because this is a fight. You gotta fight. Don't think it's strange concerning the fiery trial. When you're in the midst of the fire and you're getting tested and you're going through these things, you got to remember that we're being tried every moment. Our character is being tested through this fire, through these things that we're going through, man. All right? So the scripture is telling us to take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord as an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. And then it mentions Job. It says, verse 11, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercies. And that word for patience means to suffer. So when it says, and ye have heard of the patience of Job, is really going into the suffering, the sufferings that Job went through, the patience that he had through those sufferings, the long suffering. All right? While we patiently wait for the Lord, man, we're going to go through sufferings. We're going to partake in the sufferings. And you're not supposed to think it's strange concerning the fiery trial, which is meant to try you as though some strange thing happened unto you. All right? We're supposed to endure, man. All right? And ultimately, the Lord gave us the tools to endure, man. It's not like the Lord left us out here naked. As we go through our own personal Job experience, you got to keep in mind that the Lord did not leave us out here naked, man. The Lord did not leave us comfortless. The Lord gave us these scriptures as a tool and as a means to overcome these trials and tribulations and fiery trials that we go through, man. All right? We're not out here defenseless, man. We have all the necessary weapons and tools that we need through the Spirit to fight these things, man. Whatever it may be. All right? Some brothers may be dealing with, their trial might be, drinking too much, man. Or some brother might deal with, the passing of a family member, or they might have lost a loved one that, to them, that was somebody they really loved, man. Or some brothers might be going through a situation where they lose a career or a job or something that they've been working for their whole life. Or some brother might have lost a woman. And to some brothers, that might be like, man, a woman? I could go through that. So certain things that in your mind you might think like, man, that's easy. I could go through that. But to that brother, that might be a situation that either makes or breaks him, man. All right? So every brother's going through their own personal Job experience, something that has been tailor made for their walk. All right? And ultimately it's part of being, partaking in the sufferings of the Lord. All right? It says, let me get the scripture real quick. It says, the servant is not greater than his master. It says right here, John 13 and 16. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. Oh, that's a good one, but that's not the one I wanted. Let me see. This is John 15 and 20. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So you got to understand that, man, that the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they persecuted Yahushai, which Yahushai, man, bro, Yahushai, it was literally, he is the son of Yahweh, man. He's alive as we speak. He's on the right hand of the Lord right now as we speak. And he, man, bro, Yahushua came in the flesh. And like, you got to understand, bro, the book of Colossians, all right? When you read the book of Colossians, it says that all things, whether visible or invisible, thrones, dominions, principalities, everything was created by him and for him. Yahushua, man, bro, Yahushua is on a whole nother level. He's literally he's right under the Lord, man. It's Yahweh, Yahushai, the elect. There's an order to these things, man. You see? And Yahushai being the second in command, all right, they persecuted him. You gotta understand that, bro. And if they persecuted Yahushai, what you think? That you're not gonna go through nothing? That you're not gonna be persecuted, that you're not gonna go through these fiery trials, that you're not gonna go through a garden of Gethsemane moment. And when Yahushua was in the garden of Gethsemane, all right, it says that he was going through agony, bro. You think that you're not gonna go through that? It says right here in Luke 22 and 44, it says, and being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was, as it were, great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And this is Yahushua, man, when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, man. And while he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, you know what? Let me start up, man. Man, this is all good. You know what? Let me start up. Because even right here in this chapter, we see that Yahushua, he was also in the flesh as well, man. All right, and he had a moment where he that humanity, for lack of better words, was shown. All right, because in this moment in the Garden of Gethsemane, what was he? He was praying to the Lord to remove this cup from him. So it says right here, Luke 22 and 40, and when he was at that place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. So Yahushua was praying to the Father to remove this cup from him. Yahushua knew what he was about to go through, man. You know, he was about to suffer. So he was praying to the Father to basically remove that cup from him. But he said, nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. Let's keep reading. It says, and there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was, as it were, great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And let's go into that word for agony in the blue letter. Because you got to understand, man, that even Yahushua was going through he said, I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straightened on every side till it be accomplished? So Yahushua was in a position of difficulty, man. Yahushua, and even up until that moment at the Garden of Gethsemane, it says that he was in agony, man. All right. So let's go into that word for agony. It comes from G74, agonia, which means a struggle for victory, gymnastic exercise, wrestling, and this is the definition I want, of severe mental struggles and emotions, agony, anguish. So when it says that Yahushua was in agony and that he prayed more earnestly, that means that he was going through severe mental struggles and emotions. Yahushua, it says that he was at his sweat. It says that his sweat were as great drops of blood falling down to the ground. You gotta imagine that, man. The anxiety, the what he was feeling, man. All right, and then up until the moment that he got crucified, you know, they were putting a crown of thorns on his head. They beat his head with the reed. They kneeled down and started mocking him, oh, the King of the Jews. Then, man, bro, like, this is what Yahushua went through, and you think that you're not going to go through anything? The servant is not greater than his Lord, man. If they have persecuted Yahushua, we're going to go through persecution as well. We're going to go through our own tailor-made personal Job experience, man. Our faith is going to be tested. We're going to go through trials that ultimately are going to bring out the qualities that the Lord wants to see in us, man. Which the qualities that the Lord wants to see in us are the qualities that of his son. You see, we're being conformed into the image of his son. All right, so these trials ultimately, they're so that what? So that certain things get purged out of you. Also, too, is so that you won't be condemned with the world. All right, because the scripture says in 1 Corinthians 11:32 that when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, so that we are not condemned with the world. So when we get judged and we go through these situations, is really the Lord chastening us, man. And the scripture says, despise not the chastening of the Lord. So really, these things that we go through, they're to test our trial. They're not to test our trial. They're to test our character, man. They're to see, are you going to keep the faith? Are you going to keep your integrity? Just like Job, man. All right, think about James 5:11. Think about the patience of Job. All right, what he went through and the mercy that the Lord had on him afterwards. You see, Job kept his integrity, man. And at the end, he was restored in a grand scale too. When the Lord restored Job, man, it was on a whole different level than what he was previously at. And really, Job is really a representation of the elect, man. The elect right now, they're all going through their own personal Job experience, all right? And we have to keep our integrity, man. All right, we're not just in here, cakewalking it. It's gonna be easy. No, man. It says, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. So what we go through, every brother, is going through something that to you it might be easy, but to that brother is hard, man. And some situations that you go through, it could be hard, but to some brother it's easy. So every brother situation has been tailor made for that brother, man. All right. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakudash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom and Abba Abba.